Hi, my name is Allie Hairston, and this is my submission for the Solitude/Worship project. I personally chose worship as it's something I've needed to work on to have a deeper connection. I am going to be trying solitude a little bit later. I'm in a season of my life where I'm just so busy, I don't feel like I'm given or giving the time of day in the area of worship that I should. So I chose to kind of do a mixture of the worship options. So I chose worship based on the arts as well as listening to worship music in a style than what I would usually do. And it kind of is mixed in with personal worship in the outdoors. I wanted to try to fully immerse myself in the experience of hearing God's voice and really just focusing all my energy on hearing what He needs to speak into my life and maybe just find out something that I haven't been listening to. So I sat down and I put on an acoustic playlist on Spotify of different Christian artists. I usually tend to go for things that have more of a rhythm and a rhythmic beat to it. And I did this, and at first I sat inside. I usually paint at the kitchen table just because there's a lot of sunlight right there. And my family, we have plants all up by the dining room table. And I looked outside and I decided why not, really actually just fully sit down and try to get a little bit of the silence of nature with a little bit of music in between just to keep me focused because I do tend to get off track. When I sat down, I started out with a blank record. As you can see, there's some paint on the back of it. This is the back side. I decided to go with the record just because it's a different kind of, I guess, way to paint. A lot of times I choose to go with my normal canvases, and usually I'm only able to paint when I'm inspired by something. Which is why, like I said, I sat outside, I put on some worship music, and I just tried to really, really just kind of listen to the words that were being sung and just appreciate the outdoors. Luckily, when I painted, it was absolutely gorgeous outside, and just we have so many red robins and blue jays out there, a lot of stray cats that run through the backyard. You could hear the children in the distance. We have a couple neighbors with kids, and it was really soothing. It was really, really soothing. I began to paint something I love. I absolutely adore sunflowers, and I was just trying to put something on the canvas, and I couldn't do it. I'm not one to paint if I'm not inspired. My brain doesn't work that way. And I kept going and trying different formats, and it just didn't work. That's not my skill set. I didn't feel inspired. So I got so frustrated, and I just threw black paint on it, truthfully. But as I was going, it turned into something else, and honestly, I felt like someone else was painting for me. So this is what I ended up painting. As you can see, it's got two different textures. This is the starry night sky, and you have a little bit of a mountain range down here. You can see the matte versus the glossy. the longer I sat out there, the darker it got. And I felt really at peace. But I also really love the different textures in this. I feel as though it was a reminder to myself that I can't do everything by myself, and I'm not perfect in any way, shape, or form. God truly is the one inspiration that motivates me whenever I do decide to paint. This one was very unique, however, and I absolutely adore it. I don't think you can tell from my iPhone, but right here is where that sunflower once was. And it's kind of funny because God works in that way. Sometimes we try to do things on our own and, we hope for the best, and it doesn't work like that. We can't do everything by ourselves, and we can't put all the expectations and pressures of life on ourselves. We've got to trust in God, because in the end, He's gonna make that sunflower into something beautiful that you can't see the big picture, but He can. And I kind of felt a piece of understanding, because this was a few weeks ago that I painted this, and I've been in the middle of a transition process at my job to get a promotion from a shift lead to a store manager, and I kind of felt like this was an affirmation that God hears me and He knows the desires of my heart. He wants me to be able to just trust in Him and enjoy what He has set out before me. So there was a lot that went into this. I wasn't expecting all of that.